You're watching Pulse on Mirror Now. I'm Amita Balachandra on Pulse, like we do every day at 5 p.m. here on Mirror Now. We get you the latest that's coming in on Karnataka elections 2018. Even as we speak about elections, it is the last leg of campaigning, really, with just about 12 days left for elections 2018. In fact, today, the latest update that we get to you is the fact that PM Modi has kicked off his rally in the state of Karnataka. Over 15 rallies is what is expected over the next couple of days. We have Shrija now joining us with more details on that story. Shrija, PM Modi there finally kicking off his last leg of campaign in the state of Karnataka. Take us through what is on the agenda. We know that 3 rallies are there today. First, he went to Chamarajanagar, then he went to Udupi, and now he's on his way to Belagavi.
Well, that's right. In fact, he began his day right at Chamarajanagar. He did, of course, address the crowd over there. Remember, it's a very important constituency and also it's a very crucial election, Amita, because remember, this is the first time where we are going to see BJP making inroads to southern India. So they're doing all that they can, making sure that they by ensuring that they are going to get more than just a number of votes, what they are expecting. But now what you're seeing at this point in time is that both the parties are indulging in mudslinging, because as far as Prime Minister Narendra Modi is concerned, even though he addressed a crowd of citizens there in Chamarajanagar, of course he did go to Udupi, he did of course cheer the crowd there as well. He did bring out a very important point, because remember the coastal Karnataka that we are talking about, especially communal violence, which is very high, and of course he did point that matter as well, asking the citizens over there to spread love. Now he's on his way to Belagavi. Of course, this is going to be another 15 rallies is what we are going to see in the next 5 days. It is going to be very important, because remember, we're just 11 days away from Karnataka Assembly elections. So it is very important for the BJP to make inroads into southern India, and that is exactly what we are seeing right at this point in time, where Narendra Modi is ensuring that he gains maximum votes by capitalizing and also indulging in mudslinging.
Well, absolutely. And like you pointed out, how parties are engaging in mudslinging. We saw the Congress party last time around, last week, we saw when the manifesto was released, Congress president take digs at the BJP. And now it is PM Modi's turn. Really, what is that open dare that was given to Rahul Gandhi, Shrija? Also, the other point to note here is the fact that it was kicked off, the campaign was kicked off in Chamarajanagar. Chamarajanagar, of course, the entire Mysore constituencies, there is a stronghold of the Congress party. So that is a very significant step that was taken by the Prime Minister.
Well, it is a mixed reaction coming as far as your Mysuru is concerned, old Mysuru, but we must also consider the fact that the old Mysuru where we are looking at has a BJP strong foothold, but it is definitely difficult, especially as far as Siddaramaiah or the Congress government, to make inroads, especially into old Mysuru, because remember, they have done all that they can to capture the votes and in fact, the attention of the voters as far as Chamarajanagar is concerned, and that is exactly the reason why Narendra Modi chose first Chamarajanagar is what we are given to understand, because that is exactly where they are looking at capitalizing maximum votes. Because remember, like I pointed out, this time around we are not going to see Siddaramaiah contesting from Varuna constituency, where he has been ready to gamble, instead chose Chamundeshwari. So why not? That is exactly the reason why we understand that he has chosen Chamarajanagar as the first place, considering the fact that it has, of course, strong BJP foothold, and that is exactly the reason we saw that he made his first pit stop at Chamarajanagar. So what we are looking at now at this point in time today is also another third rally which is going to take place. This is in Belagavi district, and this is going to go for another 5 days. But as far as the mudslinging, like you pointed out, because remember, we are looking at how both the parties are taking to social media. They're indulging in mudslinging. They're blaming each other's party for their failures, because it was Narendra Modi who did, of course, tell and addressed the crowd by saying that there has been increase in crimes that is against women and children. It is only because of the failure of the Congress. And then you also saw how he did pose a dare question, especially to Rahul Gandhi, by saying that if he could speak in 15 minutes probably in his mother tongue or any other language for that matter, especially without a piece of paper, regarding the developments that has taken place as far as the Congress regime is concerned in the last 5 years. So what are the developments that have taken place? So that is exactly the dare which he has posed to Rahul Gandhi. Of course, we can see that it is a fierce battle. What you're looking over here is not just Rahul Gandhi versus Narendra Modi, but in fact what you're looking here also is Siddaramaiah versus Narendra Modi as well.
Well, absolutely. And like you pointed out, the floodgates have really opened. We've seen the kind of tweets coming in from CM Siddaramaiah as well yesterday called hashtag answered Madi Modi. And that was really what had kicked off today with the several rebuttals that are coming in from PM Modi as well. Like you pointed out, the 15-minute challenge that he gave to Rahul Gandhi. We also saw PM Modi in Udupi say that it's in their culture to welcome other opposition parties, especially the JDS. However, the Congress, on the other hand, does not do that. So take us through the series of tweets that was really put out. What were the questions that CM Siddaramaiah had actually pointed out on social media?
Of course, see, soon after Narendra Modi landed here in Karnataka, we did, of course, see the series of tweets. Now, this has sparked yet another controversy, because remember, we are looking at the top leaders indulging in especially mudslinging. Now, as far as Siddaramaiah is concerned, he did, of course, pose a series of questions as far as Narendra Modi is concerned. He did, of course, question the corrupt leaders that he has given tickets to, because remember, that has definitely stoked a controversy here in Karnataka. Because we are just not looking at clean chit leaders. We are also talking about the tainted leaders, especially in the BJP, because the chief ministerial candidate here in the BJP is Yediyurappa. Then you also have especially his men over there, the mining barons. You have Somsekhar Reddy, Karunakar Reddy. There are several other people who are also been given the tickets, especially as far as Congress is, in fact, the BJP is concerned. So that is something that he has taken a jibe at Narendra Modi. Of course, that did not stop the BJP from indulging in such kind of mudslinging. We also did in turn see how even Shobha Karandlaje tried to defame the Congress by saying that Congress has in fact did not fail to provide security for both women and children, and also by talking about, by defaming Siddaramaiah by calling that he is not fit to be the Chief Minister of Karnataka. So it is very clear indication that it is going to continue for the next couple of days, because remember, it is just heating up as far as elections are concerned. So we will have to turn and wait and watch how this is going to turn out to be, because at the end it is the citizens that is going to vote their representatives to the power.
Well, absolutely, Ishija. Thank you so much for getting all of those details. Let's now listen in to the Prime Minister, what he said in Chamrajnagar this morning.
दिल्ली में कर्नाटक के चुनाव की खबरें आती रहती हैं, और दिल्ली में खबर ये आती थी कि कर्नाटक में भाजपा की हवा चल रही है। लेकिन आज कर्नाटक मेरी पहली जनसभा में देख रहा हूं कि कर्नाटक में बीजेपी की हवा नहीं, आंधी चल रही है, आंधी।
Well, that was the kind of mudslinging we saw today, especially between the BJP and the Congress party. And here's the question that we're asking. Do we need every issue in the state to be politicized? In fact, we've seen the kind of ads come in print media and in radio where rape, for instance, even Farmer suicides have been politicized. We have a couple of people now who are joining us here in Mahadevapura constituency in Whitefield, which is also the IT hub of the city of Bengaluru. I'm going to start off with you. We've seen the kind of retorts with different political parties throw at one and each other. We've also seen the kind of ads coming in, politicizing rape, farmer suicides, all issues that we need to be talking about. What is your response to the kind of, politics that's being played around these issues?
I think it's quite reprehensible, the ads that are coming out in the paper with respect to farmer suicides. And today, the ad in the paper was especially sad because there was an image, and with kids seeing that, it's quite shocking. I think both parties need to kind of, take a hands-away approach from here. These are not things that politics should be concentrating on. These are heinous crimes, and farmers have been at the brunt of like the economic zero progress that's been there. These are not political issues that you have to talk about. There are enough and other things in Bangalore, in Karnataka, that we have to talk about. In Bangalore especially, there are many issues that we have highlighted. Let them talk about that. Let them talk about what they will do to change that, rather than always finger pointing and trying to one-up each other.
And do you believe that perhaps social media especially could be used, in a better manner? Because today we've seen different rallies, in all of these rallies we've seen both the parties again mudslinging each other, pin blame at each other, saying you've not done this, but we have done this.
So you see how Whitefield Rising, for example, has been using social media, be it Twitter, be it Facebook, be it our website. We always talk about the real people's issues and what people can do about it, what the government can do about it. Why are political parties indulging all the time in blame game? Isn't there time for other real work to be done? And instead of, they should stop and use social media in a very constructive way to actually highlight people's issues and resolve them, and bring participation. Social media can be used very effectively to rally around people. For example, you see this lake where we are, it is all people's doing. We use social media over the years, and citizens rallied together to preserve this lake. We got very little support from the administration. That's how issues should be solved. For example, pedestrians issues, public transport issues, so many other real issues are there. We can use social media effectively, and ads should be also highlighting the real issues that people face. The election should be centered around what work should be done, not centered around blaming the other parties.
Are you surprised at all? We're going to come to the kind of issues that this constituency especially faces. It is the IT hub, but then again, it's riddled with traffic jams. There's lake issue. We're going to come to that. But what is your take on the fact that all of these things are happening? What goes on in your head when you see ads like this, where issues are politicized?
I don't think it's really necessary. We have such major issues where we live. We've been living here for 10 years. We don't have a basic road here. And we just got a road just before election last month, and it's already caved in. So we have lots of us, everybody's got, we have drainage issues, we have lots of those kind. We don't have footpaths for people to walk. There are no street lights, there's no security, there are dogs all over the place. So,
in fact, you also came up with your own manifesto and presented it on a Saturday, I believe. If you could take us through, what are the major issues that you want addressed at this point?
I think major issues for us is the basic amenities. We are not talking about really the fancy stuff. We are talking about proper roads. We are talking about proper sanitation. We are talking about proper garbage segregation and cleaning. We are talking about proper sewage disposal, electricity, and safety. There are a lot of, these are the basic things we are talking about. I think all of us are capable of, we are trying to be a good citizen, all of us, but basic administration system is not working. And this has been happening for many, many years. And it's one party versus other. It's very deplorable kind of ads going on. I think nobody's talking about the real issue. And this is not going to solve the problem for us, all of us. And we being educated, so-called in IT hub, we do understand this can be done very nicely. There are people group like Whitefield Rising and all, they're all ready to help do that. Just administration is not living up to the standards. Right.
And do you think the focus has largely been on issues that don't matter? For instance, caste, religion. These are the things that are being picked up by parties across.
Yeah, perfectly agree. Like the others have said, I mean, we have more burning issues, basic living conditions. health, education. These are none of the parties are talking about health and education, talking about infrastructure. Everybody is hopping on, religion, caste, farmer suicide, rapes. This is something that we don't want to, talk about. We want to elect, we want to cast a vote to somebody who could promise, who could lift the entire Karnataka and especially our area to a better standard.
In fact, I'm going to talk about, lakes here. Lakes has been one of the biggest issues, Belandur and Vartur lakes in the city. We've been talking about it for decades now. Tell us this, what do you want your elected representatives to do about the lakes? Because we know that right now it's stuck with the NGT. The National Green Tribunal is coming up with a report as well on.
Yeah, we know about the Belandur Lake and the Vartur Lake, and it's got a lot of coverage in the international media. You have foam, you have snowfall, you have pollution, you have a lot of stinking mess over there. And everybody has tried to do something about the Vartur Lake, Belandur Lake. Nothing has happened. And it's stagnant water, it gets the mosquitoes in, and there's no reason for that lake to be like that. It needs to be cleaned up, it needs to be a living lake, and I don't understand why it is not being solved, in spite of so many efforts by all the citizens group. The Whitefield Rising has taken it up many times. The lake is still the same way.
You've also been fighting for the Patandur Agrahara Lake as well. If you could, sort of talk about what is the real issue in Whitefield. If we only talk about Whitefield right now, what is the real issue in Whitefield?
So let's take this example, right? We just talked about the lake. So there is one lake right behind us, what we have here, and the Vartur Lake is about 300 meters from here. There is a canal which connects these two lakes called the Rajakalve. And in spite of going back and knocking at every bureaucrat's door, as far as the executive's door, the whole thing is choked. Now these Rajakalves run all along the layouts where people live, and all it breeds is mosquitoes and snakes and bad stench. And there is no way for us to get in and clean this because we just don't want to do that. And second thing is it's filled with such a growth that you hardly get to see water flowing freely there. And downstream where it goes and joins the Vartur Lake for its downward journey, the whole thing is choked in the name of construction and, resurrection there. All they did was they just blocked it, and there is a trickle flow of about maybe a feet going through, which comes down like from a 7 feet flow. So that's what they have done. In the name of cleaning up and consolidating it and structuring it up, all they have done is just choke the flow. So,
lakes, like he pointed out again, is one thing, but traffic is also another issue that, Whitefield has. We call it the IT hub, but at the end of the day, there's horrible traffic jam here.
Nothing's been planned. The whole place, they have not done any planning at all. When they are given permission for all these buildings to come up, the roads, they are not even bothered where there is this that can stand the traffic. All the roads are narrow. On a 30 feet or 40 feet road, you give some 1,000 apartments, 3,000 cars. What's going to happen? It is just that absolute planning. I don't know how they give what is their fundamentals or how they go about giving permission for building rise, especially this road. If you see, so many things has come up. Nothing. Just now we are seeing the road, semblance of a road, which has gone again. So for 6 years, we have fought for this road. Nothing has happened. But buildings have been coming up. How they gave the permission, we don't know. Still buildings are coming up. There are some 20 floors, something is coming up and all that. That's the basic reason for the choking of the traffic. It's absolutely government failure, or whatever you can call it.
And I'm going to circle it back to the kind of development that's happened, all the mudslinging, all the political action that we're seeing. None of that matters when it comes to the kind of issues that we're talking about.
Well, I think politicians probably know where their vote bank lies. I think that's, to me, is the root of the problem. When they try to focus on certain segments of the society to get the basic amenities done, and people all over here are all, pay the A-level taxes, right? But when you look at the infrastructure, I think it's completely dismal. So, I think politicians probably know where to focus and get their votes, and they just neglect the other section of the society.
In fact, talking about the manifesto, one of the things you've pointed out in the manifesto that you've brought about is the fact that you should have ward level committees every once in a while, and that's something that will help as well.
So ward committees are essential because they decentralize the administration. In fact, Hagadur ward, where we are currently in Whitefield, is among the first to get a ward committee, and many of our citizens are part of the ward committee. and it is an effective instrument, and the MLA can play a big role in actually making the ward committee effective. In fact, we have a resident here who can speak more about the importance of the ward committee and what can be done.
Yeah, hi. We have been successfully conducting many ward committee meetings wherein we have brought real issues to the corporator, and a few of the issues that could be solved are brought to his notice, and little bit of action is there on the ground. So likewise, if each and every ward have a representation from the actual citizens, then I think it would be really beneficial. We can see a better society. We bring in to their notice the real issues. For example, we have brought into the notice of the corporator about the lights that are street light issues, and then there have been issues of garbage segregation and all those things. We have brought to their notice, and wherever they could act, they have acted.
In fact, one of the things that was pointed out today as well is the fact that when PM Modi said that there is a lot of crime in the state, CM Siddaramaiah rebutted saying that there isn't any crime. But the fact of the matter is, in this locality itself, there aren't enough street lights, and there's just, when it comes to safety and security measures, there's nothing that's being done.
See, talking about crime is easy. There are a lot of reasons, and these are not issues which should be politicized, and people shouldn't speak against each other, all the parties blaming. We have a neighborhood watch group here. For example, we work with the police. But on crime, as you rightly pointed out, street lights is a big bane. I haven't seen a city of the size of Bangalore which has such a problem with street lights. You come on the Whitefield main road anytime around 6 o'clock, starting from Marathali Bridge, you'll see half the street lights off, and it's extremely dark, extremely unsafe, and extremely insecure, as you rightly said. Crime is also related to street lights, and they can't make the street lights function, and sometimes the street lights, half of them are off. You will also see dark patches where the bright hoardings, the paid advertisements are on, but the real street lights are off. It's an amazing sight, and we have pointed this out many times to the corporator, to the MLA, but we don't see any advertisement or any party manifesto promising us that street lights will work. At the crack of dawn, they will be switched off, and they will be repaired when necessary. There will be LED street lights which will be functional. We don't hear from them in manifesto, in a commitment that parking will be regulated, or pedestrians will have the first right, that they will get a... You go to Graphite India, among the biggest, it's the IT hub of India, I can say. You have the biggest companies in the world setting up base in Export Promotion Industrial Park, which is part of Whitefield, is the heart of Whitefield. And Graphite India sends a wrong message that junction has a median of about 3 feet, which actually gives the message day in and day out that thousands and thousands of cars can go in seamlessly, but pedestrians are not supposed to walk. For this simple thing, we have pointed it out to MLA, we have pointed it out to the local administration. We have not seen any action. So pedestrians should have the right of way. That should come in the ads. That public transport, for example, Bus Bhagya scheme, which Citizens for Bangalore, which is a city-wide group, and Whitefield Rising is part of that. So we went to the BMTC headquarters. We appealed to the local administration, to the state government, that the bus fares should be halved, and the frequency of buses and the number of buses should increase dramatically to double. That will ease the traffic problem. Traffic problem cannot be eased by just talking about it. We need suburban rail. We need to use. We need to effectively improve. We have to give private parties an opportunity to run buses, which has not been done. And the number of BMTC buses should increase drastically. In our area, you see, any time you go on the ordinary buses, they are all choco-block, there is no standing space. So we need all these simple things to be advertised, to be brought in the manifesto of the parties, and to be implemented with a time-bound plan in the next 5 years.
Well, absolutely well made point there by people of Whitefield Rising here. In the so-called IT hub of India, of the city of Bengaluru, which does not have enough street lights, which has traffic problems, lake issues. These are the things that need to be advertised, is what people are really saying. Instead, don't politicize rape, don't politicize farmer suicides. These are issues that need not and should not be politicized, is what people really are are saying, the safe course, that while manifestos come out all right, while they talk about issues, there needs to be a time-bound plan of implementation of those issues as well. We're going to continue to track all the latest developments when it comes to Karnataka elections 2018. We've completely run out of time on this show. Stay with us. There's more coming up on the other side.